I'd like to call up our mayor, Mayor Michelle Wu, to say some words. Give a shout out to the mayor right here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Frank. One more shout out to Frank, to the entire BMA team. Thank you so much for all that you do every single day of the year. This is one of my absolute favorite things that we do as a city, making sure that the generation of leaders who is making a difference right now in our communities, in our schools, on our neighborhoods, is prepared and equipped and invested in with everything that we could possibly give. I also want to just invite up two of my colleagues who are in elected office. They might look like they bear little resemblance to each other as well. City Councilor Brian Worrell and State Representative Chris Worrell, to say a quick hello. We do this as a team, and what I hope you take away from today, in addition to all of the amazing workshops, all the amazing mentoring, the connections, is that you all have each other. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that we set up each and every individual for success, but most of all that we create a network. Because as you climb, you gotta lift up also everyone who's coming with you and everyone who's coming up after you. I am now almost 15 years working in City Hall one way or another, whether for Mayor Menino or on the City Council, or now the last 3+ years as mayor. And to see what's possible, you know, you can make almost anything happen if you really want to for one day, right? You want to change someone's mind for 1 second, or you want to get someone to show up at something, but to actually make lasting change, to make sure it sticks, to change habits, to build traditions, to build culture, that takes a movement, and that takes a whole network and community of people working in the same direction who have each other's back. So there is an amazing amount of work that our Office for Black Male Advancement has gotten done. They are leading the country in thinking about how to provide resources around job creation, around housing, around empowerment, around every possible way that we want to stand up. Boston is going to be the city that's not going to back down, no matter what the White House or other people are saying around wanting us to somehow not include everyone and not be equitable and turn our back on diversity. We are not running away from our values in the city, because we're not running away from who we are and who our people are in Boston. So you all, I hope, at every step of the way, can continue to be a part of that. We need your leadership. We need your voices in a really crazy time in the world. And if anything, please, don't follow the news and see everything that's happening and watch it all and take away a message that it's hopeless or what can be done. This is the window of opportunity for people who really understand the community, who have great ideas, who want to be involved. Every single person who's standing up right now, speaking the truth, taking action, standing up for your values and for your neighbors, now's the moment where it makes all the more difference. So thank you for stepping into your own leadership. Thank you to our team. Thank you to Emmanuel for hosting us, and for all the staff here at the college for making this space available. And most of all, thank you for being part of our community and making Boston a home for everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Oh man, so I'm from a small Pentecostal church in Dorchester. So call and response is real as a black community. So can we try that again? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm State Representative Christopher Worrell. So happy to be here with you guys today at Emmanuel College, looking around and seeing black men and boys. This is an incredible look right now. Thank you to the ED, Frank Farrow and his team, Deshaun, Dante, and the others for putting this amazing event together. Like the mayor said, I'm also here for you on the state level. I want to make sure each and every one of you guys in this room and beyond has the representation that's needed to excel in the world. So please reach out to me any which way. You can always, I hate saying this because it sounds big-headed, but Google my name. You can find my email address, and I'll definitely reach out. If you reach out, I'm going to be here to make sure you get to where you need to go. I want to help you be that bridge you need to cross over to do great things in this world. Thank you for having me, and then you guys are incredible. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Worrell, and yes, I am Brother Chris's or St. Rap's brother. We are brothers in
Older
this.
brother.
He hates that question. But we are all brothers in this. So what I want to do is just make sure we show appreciation to all the adults in the room that care about us as young people. We see Bam in here, we see Royce in here, we see Keith in here, Corey in here, right? These are a lot of people that pour in us in a real way. So I just want to make sure that us as young people, us as people, just show some appreciation to all the adults in the room. So let's give these guys a round of applause. And the other thing I just love to do as the elected officials is to remind people that they have the power to change things, right? This is a movement. And how we change things is organizing, holding people accountable, and educating ourselves on what needs to be done and how to do it. One thing that we have done over at Kings Amongst Kings is we do a call and response, right? So we say, I am, and then the crowd goes, king, right? You gotta really believe that you are a king. And with a king comes a whole lot of responsibility and a whole lot of power, all right? So we're gonna do it. I am king. I am king. Amen. Kings don't sit down though, right? So we gotta stand up and do this one time. All right, everyone just stand up. Stand up. Let's get some energy in the room. All right? We're gonna do it 3 times. We're gonna do it 3 times. I am king. I am king. I am king. I love y'all. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for our mayor, Mayor Wu. All right. Before we call Jay Sean up here to set us up for our workshops, while we have the mayor in the room, we talk about access and opportunity. You've asked kind of the other panel's questions. We have the mayor here. Does anybody have any questions for the mayor? Students only. All you adults, it's good to see y'all. I love it. Any students have any questions for the mayor? Don't act shy now. If you could state your name, what school, and what school you go to.
My name is Garnett. I'm from O'Brien. My question is, did you ever believe that you would be where you are today?
Hold on, I couldn't see who was asking the question, but I was looking over here at this table. Where are you going? Okay, got it. Thank you, and the answer is no. I am the oldest kid in an immigrant family, and my responsibility growing up, my baby sister, the youngest of my 2 younger sisters is 12 years younger than me, so there was kind of a gap, and I was always like, my job was to take care of the little ones and help my parents translate everything into English and whatever. I'm also really, I'm naturally very shy and don't really like to, if you put me in a room with all new people, I'm the one who's just gonna sit and take it in and listen and not be the take up all the space and tell all the stories kind of person. So I always thought politics was for people who were really outgoing, really strong personalities. And even if you had found me on the last day of, like on college graduation day, wearing the, cap and gown, and if you had asked any of my friends in my friend circle, who's gonna be the last one of you to be a politician? Literally everyone would have said I would have been the last person, including myself. But my family had a bunch of challenges, really kind of a lot driven by my mom's mental health. She was diagnosed with late onset schizophrenia, and that meant that for a long time in my life, we just weren't even sure what was gonna happen with her. And I had to raise my sisters, take care of my mom, kind of pick my family up, and in doing so, learned a lot about government, about healthcare, about trying to take care of my sisters. And then I just got really mad that so many of the things weren't working. Even though the programs and all the politicians said that there was help or there was resources, you couldn't actually get to it. It wasn't in the right language, or you couldn't actually get the appointment, or you had to stay overnight in the emergency room just to be able to get the actual appointment with the doctor. So after that, I interned for Mayor Menino in Boston, and it changed my view on everything. I went from seeing government as something that you're always having to either run away from or fight, to a place where if you have the right people and ideas and right commitment on the inside, there is nothing that can't be changed in the community in terms of policies that are needed. So anyway, that's a long way of saying no. And I hope any one of you all who might not have it in your heads that you could be mayor or president or senator or CEO, whatever it is, don't let it only happen to you because of unexpected situations in your life, right? Don't just stumble upon your good luck. If you put in the work, if you surround yourself with people who care about you, who are going to push you, and then take advantage of every opportunity, I'm just keeping the seat warm until you all step into it.
Okay, now it works. All right. I'm Chris, and I go to DLA. Oh, stand up. Okay. I'm Chris. I go to Boston Latin Academy. My question for you is, what did you do to get this, to get to this spot where you are right now, and how did you overcome each challenge?
Yeah, it's like a kind of meta question. All right, like the real direct, short answer is, if you want to run for office, and any one of us who are elected officials, we are totally, you can substitute any person, but okay, what am I trying to say? The only qualification to be an elected official is that you live in that district, right? So anyone who is a citizen and registered to vote can put their name out there, and if you collect enough signatures, for mayor it's collecting 3,000 signatures, for city councilor at large it's 1,500 signatures, for district councilor it's 200, I think, then you can put your name on the ballot. And then when people vote for you, you can get elected. But to go all the way back, like people having a reason to vote for someone, people having a desire to put in the work to be in this role, it comes back to knowing who you are as a person and what you want your purpose to be. I didn't think about that at all growing up. I was just trying to do right, do what my parents said, and just kind of keep going. I was gonna, try to make a lot of money and support my family. And when all these things started to happen, and I started to realize that my family wasn't the only one going through these struggles, and that the whole system was, instead of feeling shame about living in a family where my mom was having to go to the ER all the time for mental illness, and having sometimes interactions with police or with other people that society didn't really understand. I saw her get dehumanized over and over again as an immigrant Asian woman who had mental illness. And for me, I carried that by myself for a really long time, right? I didn't tell my best friends even for months what was happening at home, because I grew up in a family where you don't talk about your dirty laundry outside. And to get to the point where I felt that I wanted to make a difference to change the system, it also is a lot of being out in the community, understanding what challenges all of our community members are going through, and then how to try to fix them, how to bring people together to think about what the solution is, and not just talk about the same problems year after year after year, but do something about it. Even if that means hard choices, even if that means not everyone's happy, just try to keep moving forward. And that experience you can get from any kind of change. Be involved as a leader in your school. Be the captain of a sports team. Volunteer at an organization that does community work where you live. Reach out and intern for the city, or get a paid summer job with the city and build your skills. As long as you are doing what makes you feel like you're having your greatest purpose and impact on your wider community, that's a pathway to leadership, and that's a pathway to bringing leadership out of people around you too.
Hello, my name is Drew Keel, and what I wanted to ask...
Okay, sorry, I can't see who's talking. I just hear the like stare. Okay, oh, got it.
I was gonna ask, my name is Drew Keel, and I wanted to ask, like, what can you, like, what are you gonna do about, like, Mass Ave?
Mass Ave, yep. You're talking about like addiction and homelessness and...
Like, prostitutes, stuff like that.
Yep.
All
Yeah, so thank you for bringing this up. I want to, we're living in one of the most wealthy cities in the country, in the wealthiest country in the world, and every day around us we see that the systems that are put in place mean that when people fall through the huge gaps that are there, our resources are still getting more and more concentrated in some places while a whole lot of people are hurting. So when it comes to Mass Ave, the very first action that I took as mayor was to say we're not going to just let people live out in tents on the street. When I became mayor, there were more than 200 people who were living in these basically forts that had been built because they had nowhere else to go. People were keeping warm with fires at night, which was causing fires throughout the area. There was violence, there was just illness in a lot of different ways, and it was not good by any means. And the city, it's not like people weren't trying. The city was going through and trying to provide resources. They were doing street cleanups every single day, and then it was multiple times a day, and then every morning it would be back to the same as it was because people weren't getting real help for what they needed. And so we created a whole new program. We now have a coordinated response team, just like our Office of Black Male Advancement. We also have an early childhood office that we created for the first time. We have a coordinated response team we created for the first time to focus on this area. So we got everyone into treatment and shelter and housing, took down all the tents because they weren't needed anymore, and Boston is now a place where everyone has that option. Now, a lot of people still don't feel comfortable taking those resources and supports, might have somewhere where they can live, but still during the day are engaging in other activities that aren't good for them or the community. And so we're trying to find the right blend of health, safety, resources, jobs. We created all kinds of programs where now, if you need help, you can get a job right away. Not just after you've fixed all your other issues, but you need a job to be able to have the money, to be able to fix some of the other issues. And so we're trying to just support people to do it all at the same time. Hundreds of people have gone through that program, but sometimes we see people then coming from way outside Boston or even Massachusetts to also need to get some of that help. And so it's a really hard problem. Every day we're trying one more thing. We now have 24-hour resources instead of just 9 to 5. We now have teams that go out citywide instead of just at Mass Ave. But people need help, and we're gonna just keep going on figuring out how to provide that.
Give another round of applause, thank you to our mayor, Mayor Wu. If you have any questions, if you write them down, I'll make sure to get the answer from the mayor and get the answer back to you. If anyone else has questions, I'll make sure to personally get the answer from the mayor for you. I'm calling Jay Sean Gant to kick us off for our workshops.